You know, a lot of us come on here and we voice our displeasure, our criticism about a lot of things. Yesterday morning, I did about a 61-minute, I believe, early morning discussion on WWE, and I touched upon several subjects, topics, if you will. I talked about the low attendance. Sorry for the lag there. I talked about Brock going over Braun. I talked about how Jinder is just not working right now as WWE champion. I talked about how WWE just seems to be too predictable lately. I talked about Enzo Amore being Cruiserweight champion. But it seems for every discussion, rant, criticism we have, seems the WWE always comes back with a reply. It's either someone on the inside of the WWE offices or or it's someone that works for WWE on an independent contractual basis. I just moved my computer there for a second. You know, anytime we fans talk about and criticize or reply and give our own opinion, which a lot of us firmly believe is probably the right opinions from our own point of view, it seems to always get blocked. I know from experience that when I point out things that are obviously going to happen or look like they're going to happen or pretty much are going to happen, that the person responsible for those moments happening will end up blocking me. Why? Because I'm pretty much spoiling what's to come, right? So when you have people like Road Dogg come out and say that wins and losses don't matter, yet you have superstars on the same roster in the same company contracting you on that, doing a contract basically contradicting you on that, who's telling the truth? Then about 22 hours ago, another WWE talent came on Twitter and basically gave their opinion to the fans. And they told the fans something that pretty much has split the fan base down the middle. Some enjoy what he said, some are not happy with what he said. Some are respectful for him voicing his opinion, but don't agree with it. That person is Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust. And Dustin, I've been a fan of yours for almost 25 years now. I first saw you, like probably a lot of people, when you made your debut in the WWE alongside your dad, and God rest his soul. And it was through the WWE that you were able to get a platform to perform on and get noticed well enough to go to WCW when it was still part of the NWA and forge your identity there as the Natural. It was there that I became a huge fan of yours. In fact, your Natural theme song, your entrance theme, which was called The Natural, I enjoyed. I enjoyed to the point that I would put it on CD, I'd put it on an MP3 player, my Android, you name it. I even use it as the entrance music for my creative wrestler on 2K17. It shows you how much of a fan I am of yours. And to see you last week come out as yourself, still coming out to the Goldust music and having the Goldust outfit, but just as yourself. Something that not a lot of fans thought they'd ever see again. And oh, by the way, you got a massive pop for it because as much as they love the alter ego Goldust, they love Dustin just as much, and that's who they've been wanting more so in WWE lately. They want Dustin, not just Goldust. But Dustin, like a lot of people, like a lot of us, has the right to freedom of speech. Like a lot of us, has the right to express his opinion. Lord knows, a lot of us here come out on here on social media, and we voice our displeasure or our displeasure or our criticism or our enjoyment of something. You know, we'll come out here and complain of whether or not something is bad and should be improved on, or we'll come out here and praise it for all the best, for all the greatness that it is. But when we see something that we know as longtime fans, and I'm pretty sure those that work in the business or have a foot, have a, that work in the business or have some kind of connection to the business. When we, along with them, see that the company that's supposed to be the be all end all in professional wrestling is not doing so well, it's time for us to it becomes it comes to a point that we have to come out here and try to vocally on camera through Twitter, through Facebook, we have to tell you, we have to light that fire under your butts to get you guys to realize you need to start improving, you need to start getting better. And again, I know everybody's entitled to their opinion. Dustin Rhodes is no exception. He's entitled to his opinion. Road Dogg Brian James is entitled to his opinion. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. But when we, as fans, and we, as hardcore fans, casual fans, and those that are working on the inside eye of the business, those that are legends and alumni of the business, when they see that the very product that they associate with or they were once part of, especially the company that's supposed to be the be all end all of it, is not doing so well, then they know something is up. They know something needs to change. I mean, look what's going on. WWE, Dustin, you work for WWE. Do you not see a similar pattern as to what happened with WCW in its dying days, or what happened with TNA, hey, for a while? You're not selling out arenas, especially for your television shows. You're becoming the WCW and TNA of this year, of this moment. And that's not good. You guys need to shape up. Now, a lot of you will probably look at the description and see exactly what the tweet that Dustin Rhodes put out. If you haven't, and you don't know what the tweet is, let me read it to you. The tweet that Dustin Rhodes put out, and I quote, this is what he said, and I quote, try and enjoy the product we put on for you. Let me repeat that. This is what he says, and I quote, try and enjoy the product we put on for you. That's all I'm saying. It's a TV show. You're not always going to get what you want. You hear that? He says, try and enjoy the product we put on for you. That's all I'm saying. It's a TV show. You're not always going to get what you want. All right. Now, part of that I could probably, well, when I read that from Dustin Rhodes of all people, I read that, at least I'm hearing somebody that pretty much has an understanding of where we're coming from. When he says, try and enjoy the product, this is what he says. When he says, try and enjoy the product we put on for you, at least he's realizing, hey, we may not be doing the best we can, but we're out there busting our butts for you. So at least appreciate what we're doing and don't always be so critical. Okay, I understand that. Now, when he says that's all he's saying, he's basically, again, asking us just to give it a try. Basically, to respect and appreciate what they're doing, even if the arenas or the venues they're in don't sell out. Because basically, they go in that ring and bust their butts for us. Okay, I respect that, Dustin. I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. A lot of us do. We are trying to enjoy the product. We are trying our best to stay interested and invested in the WWE product. It's just hard to do when pretty much you know what's going to happen, or you pretty much have an idea of what's to be. Now, Dustin, I will admit that I didn't see them pushing you at this moment in your career. Yes, you may be putting over younger talent, future talent. I get that. And I have nothing but mad respect for you doing so. And even if that's part of trying to push you, give you one last hurrah before you decide to hang it up. Again, I have nothing but respect. Nothing but respect. But if they're not going to let you, Dustin, go out as Goldust the way you came in some way, then what is the end game for us to want to watch WWE Raw if someone like you that seems to be getting some kind of push, even in defeat, is not going to be allowed to go out the way he came in? I'm just saying. Now, the one other thing that Dustin said was, it's a TV show. You're not always going to get what you want. Okay, Dustin. Here's what people like myself, Dalyxman at Dalyxman's World, the Slag Daddy at OTR Central, Chase Oliver, Pro Wrestling Report, a lot of people, fans, insiders, alumni, and legends may agree and disagree with you. You say it's a TV show. If it's a TV show, then where are the intro credits? Huh? What are the intro credits? Even Lucha Underground, that's a hybrid of a crime drama and a wrestling show, has intro credits before it. Some independent or international wrestling-based companies have intro credits before it. American Gladiators, when it used to be a thing, used to be a sports entertainment thing, had intro credits at the beginning of the show. So if Monday Night Raw is a TV show, and it is, one, why is it running for 3 hours? And two, if it's a TV show, where's the intro credits that say executive producers, executive director, story writer, story editor, Where's that? I don't see it. Do you? Because I don't. If it's a TV show, then why is this TV show constantly playing, booking itself, I should say, in arenas of 15,000 to 20,000 people? Or even in the case of WrestleMania, 80,000, 90,000 people. If it's a TV show, why is it doing that? If it's a TV show, it should have one location and one location only. Excuse the lag there. But like I said, it should have one location and one location only. All right? You should have one venue to be at, one venue to film at, and that's it. If it's a TV show. Again, where's the intro credits that tell you who the executive producers, directors, story editors, story writers, whatever? Where's that? I don't see it. At the beginning of Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, or 205, I don't see it. I really don't. If it's a TV show, like I said, why is it playing? Why is it booking itself in 1,500, in 15,000 to 20,000 seat arenas, or in the case of WrestleMania, 90,000 seat arenas? Why is it doing that if it's a TV show? If it's a TV show, you should just fucking book the Manhattan Center like they did in the past and pretty much settle there. Because you know why? That at least would be sold out, and that at least would be a set and location for your TV show to be at. At least it would be an established locale for your TV show. But guess what? You're not at the Manhattan Center, are you? No, you're on the road. Booking yourself, booking your live events and your shows and your television shows at 1,500 to 20,000 seat arenas. And most time, even for the live events, you'll only be able to sell out half of those arenas. And you have to tarp off all the rest. Seriously, if it's a TV show, again, where's the intro credits to tell us who's the producers, the directors, and all that? And why are you booking yourself in these arenas when you should just have one set location for your show? Give Lucha Underground credit. Like I said, it may be a hybrid of AAA Lucha Libre and a crime drama on El Rey Network, but at least they have one locale that they're booked at. Nowhere else. That's their set and locale. That's their set and location. That is the main place for their TV show. Where's yours? I'm just saying. And you're saying they're not what. And the last thing Dustin says in this tweet is you're not always going to get what you want. We're not always going to get what we want. Okay, Dustin, I agree with that. We're not always going to get what we want. And sometimes what we don't want, in the end, does end up being what we need. I'm not going to deny that. But, Dustin, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. In fact, let me ask anybody that's watching this. If we're not always going to get what we want, then why in 2014 did Vince McMahon decide to put the belt on Daniel Bryan? I'm just asking. Why did he do that? Because it's what we wanted, and we did whatever we had to make sure it happened. And guess what? It happened. So we do get what we want. And Dustin, let me ask you, do you get what you want in return? How many times are you going to have Vince McMahon or Triple H or Stephanie McMahon come up to you and say, Dustin, we need you to put over Finn Balor. Dustin, we need you to put over Jason Jordan. Dustin, we need you to put over Bray Wyatt. Dustin, we need you to finally help Kurt Hawkins break his losing streak and put him over. How many times are you going to be asked to do that before you ask them, what are you going to get in return? What's your end game? What's your payoff for being so patient and putting over these talents? What's your end game? What's your payoff? Because honestly, I don't see any right now in sight. Like I said, it's great that they're kind of pushing you in a way that even though you have to put over the younger talent, and you're still getting on TV. But honestly, where's the payoff for you? Where's your end game? What's it? What is it going to be? What are you going to get a run with the Intercontinental Championship again? Or are you going to at least be able to challenge Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship? Is that going to be the end game? I'm just saying. I mean, Dustin, think about this. One of the reasons you left the WWE on several occasions is because you weren't getting what you wanted. You left, went to WCW, and became yourself again. They tried to fit you with the 7 gimmick, but you said, screw that, I'm going to be myself. And then what? You go back to WWE, okay, fine. You get like a what? A run or two? You get a run with the tag team championship? Okay, fine. That's good. You get a few runs with the hardcore title? Okay, fine. But then what? Then what? Mid 2000s, mid to late 2000s, what do? You leave that company to go to TNA, but you're still not getting a promise. And what happens at TNA? You don't get what you want, but at least you're able to be more than what the WWE was allowing you to be. They weren't allowing you to be the Goldust you were before. I mean, you come back and start off as if you're the old Goldust again, as if nothing's changed. But then what? They decided to turn you babyface. Okay, fine. But then they decide for you to get a stuttering gimmick due to the fact that you got electrocuted. Thus turning you into a joke, into a comedy joke. So what do you do in retaliation? You leave. You leave to go to TNA because at least they're letting you be yourself and your alter ego. And what's your alter ego? A more hardcore version of Goldust known as Black Rain. And oh, by the way, if I may be probably the only one that gives you a positive criticism on this, you did a hell of a lot better as Black Rain in your short time with TNA than you've done so far back being Goldust. And let me remind you again, the biggest pop you've gotten so far is when you took the paint off and you were Dustin Rhodes. The point is, did you always get what you wanted? No. Is it going to get to a point during this whole push, this whole this whole hybrid of getting pushed by putting over the younger guys? Sorry for the lag there, but getting a push by putting over the younger talent. Are you going to start wondering when it's going to be your turn? When are you going to get your last hurrah, your last run, your last momentous push, if you will? But when are you going to get to the point of where you're going to ask, when am I going to get what I want? Where's my receipt, my return receipt, my refund? Where is it? Because Dustin, it's going to get to that point. It's going to get to a point where you're going to ask someone backstage, whoever is booking, when is your opportunity coming? And if they keep telling you, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, be patient. Sorry for the lag there. But if they keep telling you, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, sooner or later you're going to get impatient. You're going to start seeing the displeasure in it. And guess what's going to happen? You'll probably leave the company and probably want to go someplace else, hoping they'll give you that one last hurrah. I'm not saying you will, Dustin, but a lot of us watching this video that I'm doing right now pretty much knows that if you're not going to get something in return, then what's the point of you putting over these guys? Case in point, if we're not getting anything we'd like to see or anything in return from this company, then why are we watching? Why are we caring? look, I respect you. I respect the fact that at least you came out and have told each and every one of us, or at least asked us. You have asked us to try and watch the product. Okay? If I can quote what you said again, you said, this is what you said, Dustin. You said, try and enjoy the product we put on for you. That's all I'm saying. It's a TV show. You're not always going to get what you want. Now, I respect that first part right there. Try and enjoy the product we put on for you. That's all you're asking. I respect that, and we're doing so. We are trying our best as to enjoy the product. But it's just so hard when you see talent that shouldn't be wasted the way they are. I mean, Dustin, ask yourself this. Why are people more appreciative of NXT? Because it's what we want. They're giving us what we want. Thing is, Dustin, a lot of us can respect that all you're doing is asking us to try. And we appreciate that. But what we ask you in the WWE in return is at least start giving us something that's going to be worth our while. Don't be so predictable, okay? I mean, reports are going out, Dustin, that Reigns is going to face Lesnar at Mania and go over. Do you think a lot of fans want to see that? No, they don't. Honestly, Dustin, if they gave you a proper push as Goldust again for one last hurrah, they'd rather see you against Lesnar. They'd rather see you go against Lesnar and see you go over Lesnar. They don't appreciate that all these potential threats that could take the championship off Brock Lesnar are just filler for him to get to Roman. And the same can be said with Roman. They don't like it. I mean, you got potentially one of the best heels on your brand that you're working for right now, Monday Night Raw, in The Miz, and yet he's being saddled with being the one that has to reunite the Shield with Shield in the feud with Roman, in the feud between Roman and the Miztourage. Instead, Miz, I'm going to say this about Miz. He has done such a phenomenal job that if anybody should get a cheap heel, a cheap, the words, I'm trying to get the words here. A cheap heel-like victory over Lesnar and become champion, it's him. He is probably the best candidate you have to get a heelish-like victory over someone like Brock Lesnar and become Universal Champion. You know that. I I don't know what else to say, Dustin. Again, I respect what you've done for this business and respect the fact that you're still trying to contribute the best you can to the best of your abilities, as if nothing's really changed. And I respect and appreciate your asking us just to try and watch, just to try to enjoy out of respect and appreciation that you guys put your butts on the line 24/7, almost 24/7 every night. I can respect that. Nothing but mad props. But again, when you say it's a TV show and that we're not always going to get what we want, again, I remind you, 2014, we got what we wanted in Daniel Bryan becoming champion. But when you say it's a TV show, again, I ask you, where's the intro credits as Raw and SmackDown Live and NXT and 205 Live and the pay-per-views are starting? Where are those intro credits of who the producer, the director, and all that? Where's that? Because I don't see it. The point is, Dustin, we know you're doing the best you can. And we know for a fact that you, along with all your fellow superstars on Raw, men and women, you all know that you want to do more. You feel that You just need that moment, that glass ceiling to be broken for all of you to go through and just be who you can be. Do what you have to do. I know that deep down you guys want to have unlimited access to do whatever it takes to entertain the folks and make wrestling fun again. Not just for the fans, but for you. But you are limited due to the fact that the company you work for is associated with all these associations, all these sponsorships and partners, that even if they try to cross the line just slightly, the next thing they know, they get a phone call in Stamford, Connecticut from one of the sponsors or the partners or associates saying they may have gone a little too far, and then they have to, and then once they get that phone call or that notification about that, or that email, fax, or whatever, they end up pulling back a little bit more. It's like they could take two steps forward, but once they get that phone call from one of the associates, one of the partners or affiliates saying, "Oh, you went too far," they end up taking 3 to 4 steps back. All because they're afraid of losing that affiliate. Big freaking whoop. Big freaking whoop, Dustin. You know it's a fact. You and every superstar out there know for a damn fact that those freaking partnerships that this company has, those affiliations, good or bad, is what's holding this company back. It's what's holding you and every man and woman on the Raw brand, the SmackDown brand, the NXT brand, the 205 brand, and it's you know for a fact that that's what's holding you guys back from being what you can truly be, from doing what you truly know is necessary. And yet, the WWE, and let's not hide it, let's not hide the truth. The WWE has guys like you, Road Dogg, Triple H, Enzo, whoever, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. They have you guys come out and basically tell them, "Oh, say this so they'll get off our backs." The truth is, Dustin, again, I respect the fact that at least you're asking us to try and watch your product because you're doing the best you can. At least in a sense, you understand. But when you add in it's a TV show and that we're not always going to get what we want, again, I ask you, if it's a TV show, where's the intro credits? Where's the intro credits to tell us who the executive producer, director, story writer is? Where's that? Where's your established, localized venue where your show, your program is always going to be, where your show is always shot at? I don't see it. I don't see it, Dustin. Look, I'm not trying to get on you, Dustin. Neither of us are. We are just disappointed. That's all we are. We are disappointed in this company, and we're disappointed in the fact that this company is having people like you, someone who is probably one of the very best at what they've done, and still continue to be the very best at what they're doing today, come out and on their keyboard and on their on their phones or on their laptops tell us what you said. Now, if you would have just said, try this. Now, if you would have just stuck with this, Dustin, if you would have just said, try and enjoy the product we put on for you, that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. When when you say something like that, if you would have left it at that, a lot of us would have been okay. But when you add in it's a TV show and we're not always going to get what we want, that's not that other half of what you said here on Twitter. That's not you. That is WWE feeding you that line to say. You know it and I know it. And everybody watching from OTR Central Dalyxman, Chase Oliver, Pro Wrestling Report, Wrestling with Regret. They all know it's true. They all know that the first part of that tweet, that's from you. That's from the heart. But they know that other half is WWE feeding you that. WWE, Dustin, you know this is true, needs to look in the mirror. Vince McMahon mostly has to look in the mirror and realize he is making a big ass mistake right now. He needs to change things up, and he needs to do it as soon as possible. If it means booking Finn Balor to go over Brock Lesnar Survivor Series and not letting Brock Lesnar even get near that Universal Championship ever again, so that this company can have a freaking full-time Universal Champion for the Raw brand, so be it. People may not like Finn Balor going over Brock Lesnar, but guess what? Would you rather have Brock continuously be part-time and the Raw brand, the premier brand of WWE, the premier show of the WWE, be without a champion? Huh? Or would you rather have a champion that's there almost every day? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'd rather have that happen, as ludicrous in the eyes of a lot of people as it may seem in sound. I'd rather have that happen than have to deal with Brock Lesnar continuously mowing down people just so he can drop the belt to Roman Reigns. It just that is what frustrates us, Dustin. And again, it's like I said, people would rather see you challenge Brock Lesnar at Mania for that championship and beat him for that championship than Roman. Because if WWE goes through with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, they're pretty much going to they are pretty much not going to be selling out the damn New Orleans, they're damn sure not going to sell out the damn Superdome. I mean, you think having half full arenas now for the live Raw and SmackDown shows is bad? Just imagine a half full Superdome for that matter. Imagine that for WrestleMania, a half full Superdome. So if you like, but imagine that. Imagine that for an instant. Imagine that for a moment. It's not going to be pretty. Imagine trying to have WrestleMania access throughout the week and you barely have anybody showing up. And because they know exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine how much of a payday you'll get if you don't have that big a you don't even have a sellout for Mania. And half the Superdome is tarped off. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Dustin. Again, I respect you asking us to try and enjoy the product. Because you guys go out there, indeed, you guys go out there and bust your butts every night. I'm not denying that. But when you pretty much have the WWE feeding you that last line that it's a TV show and we're not always going to get what we want, I know, Dustin, that that's not you. It's not you. The first half was. The first half of this tweet was. The other half of that tweet wasn't. So I'm asking you, Dustin, out of due respect, please realize that we are trying. We are desperately trying. But WWE, the company you work for, in front of the camera and behind the scenes, is making it very hard for us to do so. You know, Dustin, maybe it's time maybe it's time for someone like you that has earned his respect, that has earned his stripes, that is a first ballot Hall of Famer all the way. Maybe it's time for you to step up and tell the people in charge, enough's enough. And it's time for a change. To quote the late great Owen Hart, enough's enough, and it's time for a change. Maybe it's time for someone like you to step up to the plate and tell them that. Because again, ask yourself this. Sorry for the lag. But again, ask yourself this. You're putting over all this young talent in some kind of semi-push like environment. But ask yourself this. You put over this talent in this kind of semi-push-like atmosphere and environment and routine that you're getting. But ask yourself this. Ask them this. What's in it for you? What do you get out of it? When are you going to get what you want, what you've been promised? Ask yourself that, Dustin. Ask them that. Ask them, Dustin. Ask them, what am I going to get in return? What am I going to get in my moment? Ask them, Dustin. That's all I'm saying. Because there's a lot of us here watching, that's listening to me right now, that have nothing but mad respect for you. Mad respect for the fact that you're still going, if not better than ever, 21 years, 21 years later, or 21 years after you debuted as Goldust. You're still going strong to this day. You are an ageless one. But Dustin, you have to think. You have to think for right now. Put yourself in our shoes. Would you enjoy a product that kept being the same way it was, that you knew wasn't doing so well, that wasn't selling out the arenas? Put yourself in our shoes, Dustin. How would you feel if you knew what you were a fan of, if you knew the promotion you were a fan of wasn't doing what they have to do to get themselves over? Ask yourself that. But again, I have nothing but mad respect for you, Dustin. I respect the fact that in the first half of that tweet you asked us to try and watch the product. I do respect that. I respect that you're asking us to do that. I have nothing but mad respect for that. But I don't have respect for the fact that WWE is making you say the other part. Because again, if it's a TV show, Dustin, where's the intro credits telling us who's the executive producer and directors and the story writers? Where's your established locale? Your established setting for Monday Night Raw? Like I said, if it's a TV show, you might as well just book being in the Manhattan Center and starting next year or starting next month. You might as well, or next week for that matter, you might as well book yourselves in the Manhattan Center and just go from there and just remain there. Because if you're a TV show, at least you would have a setting and a locale. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Dustin. Again, I have nothing but mad respect for you. I have nothing but mad respect for you and for what your family has done for this business. I have nothing but mad respect for what your brother's doing on the independent circuit. But I think it's time for you to wake up and realize things need to change, and they need to change now. So that's all I'm going to say, Dustin, in reply to your tweet. That's all I'm going to say, everybody, to his reply to Goldust, Dustin Rhodes' tweet. Let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. Video reply if you like. Dalyxman, OTR Central, I'd like to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on it? And that's all I'm going to say. But again, Dustin, nothing but mad respect, especially for that first half of the tweet you said. But the other half, I don't have respect for because I know that's not coming from you. That's coming from WWE. So, thank you all for watching. That's all I'm going to say. And, Dustin, I hope things change for the better, especially for an established first ballot Hall of Famer like you. Thank you all for watching.